Hey guys, Evander here. Welcome back to my channel, your #1 resource for all things Tesla Cybertruck accessory related. Be sure to hit subscribe. I know 90% of you who visit my channel are not subscribed, so be sure to double check. You don't want to miss any crazy cool content on the way. I already have some really cool things in the pipeline. Don't want to miss out on those. Be sure to hit subscribe, ring the bell, and you'll be notified as soon as I release a new video. So today I'm going to do a demonstration of Tesla's brand new $600 air compressor, as well as an included tire sealant kit. But yeah, we'll be doing an inflation test, a deflation test, and I'll give you an overview of the sealant kit since this is a one-time use sort of thing. It's meant for punctured tires, disperses the sealant foam throughout the tire, and I don't know if we're supposed to throw this away or if we can eventually replace the tire sealant fluid. We'll find out eventually. But yeah, be sure to stick around if you want to see more information about it. And if you haven't already watched my unboxing video, don't worry, I'll be giving a quick but thorough overview of both of these products before we dive into the inflation tests. All right, let's jump into it. All right, before we get to the air compressor itself, let's do a quick overview of this tire sealant. This is a separate product from the compressor, but they came together. I really hope they sell this separately since, as I mentioned before, it appears to be a one-time use. In the documentation manual for this product, it states that you basically make sure this is at 100% before using it, and then it will go down to empty as soon as it's finished. So really hope they have some sort of replenishment kit that they'll offer similar to what I was hoping for with they had like a stainless steel cleaning kit, but they never offered a way to replenish any of those chemicals without buying the entire kit all over again. This is somewhat difficult to pull out. There we go. And there is the tire sealant. It is pretty much full. I can kind of see the fluid. The fill line is pretty much right about here. Not sure how long this will last, how long it's good for, but I'll keep this in a safe place, probably in my sub trunk. But basically, there is a special mode on the compressor that will disperse this foam fluid. I don't know how it works. It says it will disperse it evenly in your tire, and then you're supposed to drive for about 10 minutes, not going over 50 miles an hour. Then you are to stop and then finish inflating your tire. So there's a whole process. The instructions are not very clear on how to use this. They use mostly diagrams instead of written English, but I think I understood enough of it to figure out how it's used. But a pretty simple device. It's basically just connected to a bottle, and ideally I'll never have to use this because you only need this if your tire is punctured. So I'm not going to demonstrate this since I'm not going to waste it on a perfectly good tire, but that's how it works. And again, if I ever do someday, knock on wood, puncture my tire, I'll be sure to record how this works and what happens. But yeah, I'd imagine this tube would get full of that expanding foam, and maybe this whole thing is just meant to be tossed after one use. But seems you can only use this for one tire as far as I understand. It's not going to help if you punctured 2 or more tires. All right, that is the tire sealant kit. And here is what you pay for, the air compressor itself. It's a nice, feels to be waterproof, water-resistant bag. The zipper is a nice hidden design, and you access it right here. It does have a little rubbery, somewhat elastic handle. This, I'll have to weigh it, but it feels like it weighs a good 15 pounds. After unzipping, we get the compressor and a very long power cable, and that is it. There's a little bit of padding in here, but not much. And yeah, it's not meant to store anything else, not the tire sealant kit. That's all that fits in here. Kind of a shame. I wish they put them all both together, or at least give me a similar looking case for the tire sealant kits. I don't know. But for $600, I feel like they both should have their own little case. So we'll plug this in a moment when we start the inflation tests. This is the air compressor. Very cyber design. We've got the angles going all around. There is this hidden handle, which I discovered in my unboxing video. It was so well hidden, I thought it didn't exist at first. Helps you carry it around. Love it. And here is the air compressor tube. Like so. It does have some rubber feet on the bottom. Looks like some ventilation on the back and the bottom, I think. And then all of the buttons on the top, you'll see when I power it on. It's not a touch screen, but these buttons, I don't know, they're kind of wobbly. It feels like there's a single button right in the center, but they capped it off with this square, which just kind of, I don't know. If you're into keyboards, it kind of has this squishy feel I'm not too happy about. Alrighty, so let me power it on. We'll hook this up to the tire. I need to take my wheel hubcap covers off. I haven't done that yet. And then I think we'll deflate this down to the lowest off-road preset and then see how long that takes. And then we'll do the same for inflation back to 50 PSI. So let me get this set up next to the tire. All right, I have never taken these off since I got them from the service center and put them on. So see how easy it is to pop it back off. Not very easy so far. There's 1, 2. Damn. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad the whole thing came off in one go. Set that aside. Oh, good. My air valve is right close to the ground. Put this right there. Get our inflator. I don't know if we should power it on first. Let's do that. Before plugging it in to the tire. Actually, let me show you what this looks like on the compressor. All right, I have powered it on. We've got a bunch of possible settings. Each of these buttons will change depending on where you are in the menu. So now these buttons go up and down. So now this is set, and this is presets. So depending on where you are, these buttons will behave differently. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try off-road 2, which is 12 PSI. So let me hook up the air compressor to the tire, and we will have it deflate down to 12 PSI. Currently, my tire should be around 50 PSI as recommended by Tesla. Okay, screwing this on. And then I believe we just push start. It says deflate. Target is 12 PSI. Measured is 46.5, 45.4. And it is just slowly deflating this tire. I think it will periodically re-measure the PSI. I really like how this can both inflate and deflate. I've yet to take my truck off-roading, but this would come in real handy to be able to deflate them all perfectly where I want them. One thing to note as well, I noticed this power cable is nice. Uh, I don't know how to describe it, but it's very malleable and loose, and it feels like it's not going to tangle very easily. If you have some like Apple cables, the way they make them, it just seems like it's almost impossible for it to tangle and get stuck on itself. That's what this cable feels like. It just feels very nice and loose in a way that's not going to entangle itself. It still says it's measured 45.4 psi. I don't know if it's just hasn't retested, or maybe it knows how long it should take to deflate. I'll be sure to check the timestamps when this is done and put on the screen how long it took to get from about 50 down to our target of 12 psi. All right, it paused and it says 24.7 is what it measured. So we're a little over halfway there. 23.8. I can definitely see the tire starting to bulge more. I can feel the air coming out of the tire, escaping through the ventilation here on the front. I guess this would be the front, not the back. Eh. I don't know. Would you guys consider this the front where it connects to the air valve, or is this the front where the screen is? But the power cable's here, so I'm conflicted on which side is front and which side is back. If you're liking this kind of content, be sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel out, helps us grow. Thanks so much. All right, we're at 14.2 psi. That's looking like 12 psi just about, the way that tire is bulging out. All right, target has finished. It is blinking, so I assume I hit stop. And we're done. Stop the clock. All right, this thing's so shiny, it's a little hard to get a good angle, but I think that works. So we're gonna go to menu and measure. Okay, so the measure will tell you how much the PSI is. So we're at 11.9. Go back, back, presets, and we want street, which is 50. So we're gonna go from about 12 to 50 PSI. All right, I really hope this is a quick inflation, because the manual states after using this for about 30 minutes of continuous use, it needs an hour break in between using it again. So if this takes 15 minutes per tire, you're gonna have to wait an hour before you can finish the other 2 tires if you needed to reinflate. So I'm hoping this is like a 2-minute job. So let's find out. 12 to 50 PSI starting now. 12.2. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's almost harmonic, the sound it makes. It's just really deep bass. As I back away from it, it's actually pretty quiet. I have some other ones that are a lot louder that I've tried before. It's kind of like on the lower range. It's not a high-pitched tone. It's a low, deep tone. So it's really deep and bassy, if that makes sense, when you get up close to it. But as I step maybe 10 feet away, it's fairly quiet. It like doesn't hurt your ears, kind of loud. On pretty much every other portable tire inflator I've used, it warns you, like, do not touch this while it's in use. It gets very hot. I did not see any of that mentioned in the manual for this product, and I just touched it, and it doesn't feel warm, in at least through these gloves, in the slightest. So that'd be awesome if you don't have to worry about burning your fingers, as I have with other products. All right, we're at 33.3 PSI. 37. This is what it looks like when it is inflating and deflating. It just gives you this target and how much it's actually done. Well, again, if this can only run for 30 minutes, that means we should be able to get from 12 to 50 in about 7.5 minutes per tire to remain within that 30-minute of continuous use. Currently, I think we're in between 5 and 6 minutes so far. 48.6. I think we're gonna make it. Starting to top it off, 49.2. And 50, stop the clock. Alrighty. Inflation did its job. Hit stop. And then I'll quickly unscrew this. Cool. Put my cap back on. So that, by looking at the timestamps of my video, took roughly 6 minutes to get from 12 to 50 PSI. So if you did go off-roading and you deflated to the 12 PSI range, before you leave and head back onto the streets, you'd want to reinflate all 4 tires. That would get you within the 30 minutes of continuous use. But that means you're not going to be sharing it with your buddies. They got to get their own, since that would put you too close to the 30-minute time limit. I don't feel, again, any heat, which is fantastic. 0 heat. Whatever they did must be internal, not even the hose. Nothing's hot, so it's not making any excess heat. I love that. And then when you're all done, you just ravel this back up and throw it back into your truck. So that is the official Tesla Cybertruck Air Compressor Ultra. I don't really have any other comparable products to compare this one to. So if you guys have one, please let me know, how long does it take you to get from 12 PSI to about 50 with your compressor. That way we can all start comparing and seeing, where does Tesla land in terms of the competitors. Alrighty, be sure to hit that like button if you love this content. Really helps the channel, and more good stuff coming soon. I will see you in the next video. See you later.